Hey everyone, it's Liam Gaming, and in this tutorial I want to talk about combat and help you survive various battles inside The Witcher with a few tips and tricks that help me. Hopefully they'll help you as well. So first thing is, before you go into combat, make sure your health is nice and good. So your vitality, you always want to try and keep it 100%. You do that with eating food, drink, and also potions. Potions are really cool because you can replenish them quite easily over time by meditating, so long as there's some alcohol inside your inventory. So if I just drink a potion here, you can see I've now got 3 swallows left. If I meditate, and I'll just meditate for like half hour, they will then get put back up. So you can see now I've got 5 of each. So that's a simple first thing to do. Another thing just to quickly point out before we battle is, if you go into your options, you've got your gameplay, and in here there's the difficulty level. So if you are really struggling, you can adjust this. I find Blood and Broken Bones is a good challenge, not too difficult, but you know, a lot more of a challenge than the standard. One of the main differences is that your health doesn't automatically replenish over time. You have to meditate and heal, and use meditate to get your potions back up to full and use those, or use food. And of course it makes battling a little bit more difficult as well. Okay, so that's one thing you can do, is adjust the difficulty. Next thing to point out is your level is very important. So if I pause here, top right, you can see my level is 52. So in theory, any beasties around that level or below or slightly above I should be able to deal with. So when we look at our monster, or something we're going to battle with, you can see that wild dog over there is level 45. The level is grey, so it should mean I'm alright to battle. This has started slightly quicker than I wanted. One thing you can use to protect yourself is Quen, which you get with the LB button. So if I release that on Quen and then activate it, oh sorry, I didn't do it there, so I'm just going to dodge out of the way just to show you this. So the way I'm dodging at the minute is the B button, and that's just keeping these guys under control. Now a pack of dogs is quite dangerous because they can come from any side. So one way I can help protect myself before I go into battle is to activate Quen, which is a sign that's kind of like a shield and will give you 1 protection if the dog bites you or something like that. So that's one way. So of course your sword fighting is one way to deal with these dogs. He's run off now. Come back. Come back. Right, so in he comes. So one thing you can do is protect yourself by putting your sword guard up, which is your left trigger on the Xbox. Dodge out of the way, which is the B button. You can also roll, which is hold down A or double tap A. And it's quite good just to practice that, to start avoiding stuff, because it's, you know, once you start getting hit, your health can go down rather quickly. So getting used to moving like this and just keeping out of the way of getting bitten or whatever is a good thing to do. Okay, so when you've got the hang of that, you can then think about different ways to battle this dog. Okay, so if you hold down the L button, as you progress over the game, you'll open up your various signs, and one of the most offensive is Quen. So if we activate that, that gives me a shield. Now it'll allow me to take 1 hit like that. I don't get hit when that's done, but then my stamina goes down, so I can't just keep using Quen. So what else have we got in our arsenal that can help us? Another really cool one is Ard, which is a Telekinetic Blast. So if I get that one and I'll whap the dog like that. What's really cool about this, if I walk up to him and hit X, he's gone that quick. So Ard is really powerful, and a nice way of beating something very easily. And it can also be used for controlling lots of these guys at the same time. So here I've got another one come in. Let's get the other 2 in, just so we've got a bit of a battle going on. And you can see if I power up hard, I can hit 2 at the same time, take that one out really easy. So that's a real simple way of battling. Another one is, of course, to use your trusty sword. So if I use the X, it's a light attack, and the Y is a heavy attack. Now you can see I've taken a bit of a hit there, and this knight's come in to help me. That's nice of him. So things to have in your quick inventory, which if I just pause, if we go to not there, inventory, it's good to have in your consumables, which are over here, some quick access things to help heal you, either food or potions or both. Potions are really cool because you can replenish them with alcohol over time when you meditate. but the food, of course, doesn't have that problem. The downside of a potion is it also is toxic, so you can only take so many before Geralt starts looking quite ill and can't take any more. So you can see this one is 20 out of 100 toxicity, so if I take all of them, all 5, then I'm going to start looking pretty ill. But you can see they give vitality regeneration during combat, so they're good to have in your inventory. Or if you're getting in real trouble, another cool potion to have at hand is where is it? This one here, Superior White Rapids Decoction. Now, potions are something that you make throughout the game with alchemy, so it's well worth having a look at alchemy. If you're a bit confused on alchemy, have a look at my other movies, because I've got one on alchemy. And another one you can use is oils, which are useful for battling certain foes. They give you a perk on your sword against a particular type of monster or human or whatever. And bombs is also a useful one. So how do you know what to use with what? Well, another thing, and you can see it's quite nice that we can pause in the menu, is if we flick over to where is it? Beastery, we can have a look at what things are vulnerable against. So dogs, which we're battling here, which is a beast, are vulnerable against beast oil. So if we go back to our inventory, come on, I could say, right, I'm struggling here. I'm not really, but just to give you the example, I could say, right, I need a bit of help. So let's go and grab an oil, and I'm going to use beast oil when I can find the famous thing. There it is. I apply it to my blade, and then that blade, if we now look at it, says it's 50% attack power versus beasts, because it's superior beast oil for 60 hits. So that's going to kick the beast's butt. So that's one thing we can use. Another thing, if we really want to power up our attack, is Thunderbolt. So you can see that gives me 35% attack power and 100% critical hit chance during storms. So if I really want to kick this guy's butt, I can apply both of those, and it's given me a big bonus against them. So let's just go and excuse me, attack these guys. So that's just a light attack. Now you can see I'm in a bit of trouble with my health here. So this is where I said that big potion is really handy. So if I go inventory and I go, and I could have this in a quick slot, I really should do that, but I don't know why I haven't. And is it this one? Yeah, there we go. So I consume that, look at my vitality back up to 15,000, so I'm now no longer in trouble. So light attack, no problem, got the dog there, and we've wiped out those. So let's go and do another battle. Another thing that's important, just before these guys come and attack me, is to think about your protection. So like I showed you quickly, Quen can protect you from a hit, but armor is also very important. So have a look at your armor. So you can see I've added some armor here, and you always want to keep this around about your level or thereabouts, and always keep an eye out for future levels. So of course, if I looked at something like, say, this 209 armor is only level 36, I can compare it to mine with LT, and you can see my armor that I'm currently using is level 45, so it's worth 260 armor against the 209 heavy armor over there. So keeping your armor is good, because it's going to help you from getting bashed too much. There's different types of armor. There's heavy, medium, and light. The heavier the armor, the more it'll protect you, but the less stamina you have, so you can't do so many actions as quickly or move around as quite as swiftly as you can without it. Generally, I'm not bothered which ones I go with. I think I normally go with medium or light. Another thing you can do with armor, if it's got the little dots next to it, you can power these up with various different glyphs is the word I'm looking for. I've not actually powered this armor up at the minute. I'm just leaving it because I'm looking for some more powerful glyphs. But you can do that if they're magic armor. Same with your swords as well. But yeah, we've added that oil to this one here, and let's just have a look at some of the other signs we've got, because that's not the only ones that we can use. So we've got quite a few guys here to attack. So we'll have a little look at Igni. So this is another thing you can use against dogs. I've set that one on fire, so he's going to go away, woofing away grumpy that I've set him on fire. And then these ones we'll just try and control a little bit. So you can see different things will work better with different things. So you can see where I've got a pack. If I hit this I didn't hit that very well. What a nice knight trying to help me. What a good guy. So I'm in trouble there again. Let's go to the inventory. So how do I apply that to a quick slot? I really should do that, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. Which one was it? Superior White Rapid. So we're going to put that in there so I've got access to it all the time. And while I'm here, I'm going to consume one of those. Actually, so I access it by holding down, and there we go. I'm straight back up to full strength. So that's a good thing of getting yourself out of trouble. Where's that other dog gone? He's run off over here. There he is. But yeah, that ard is so cool for knocking something over and giving you a bit of breathing space, or just walk up to it and go, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nice knowing you. That was quite a funny animation there. So that's some of the main things. One thing we didn't cover there was the bombs. So bombs are sometimes useful against characters or monsters or whatever. Let's just see if we can find something for you to use a bomb against. I'll go up here, see what we can find. Oh, lots of... Come to a right zone here. There's stuff all over the place. What have we got here? Oh no, not these. I hate arch spores. Right, I think everybody hates arch spores. I've never found anyone who does like them. Right, so arch spores. How do I know it's an arch spore? So first of all, you've got to get near one. Flaming thing. There you go. So I can see it's an arch spore. And if I go to that glossary again, and find out what it was. Such a pain, these things. Not one of them. Not one of them. There it is. Arch spore. So this is a good one. Cursed oil, ard, and igni. So if I go to my inventory, and this time I want to use a different oil. So it was cursed, wasn't it? So apply that cursed oil. That's going to help me. And then let's battle these guys. So Sid Igni and also Ard. Right, so let's try Ard first. Ah, look, it didn't like that, did it? So I could just use Ard and give it a good whipping. I could also add in Thunderbolt to increase my power, attack power as well. I need to add a swallow potion there just to get a bit of energy back. Oh, he's such a pain. I hate this thing. You've also got these things, so you want to try and get rid of them out of the way as well. So you can see I'm still struggling to get my health back up, so you need to keep an eye on that. If you need breathing space, remember you can go to your inventory and do stuff from there. Or if you prefer, I could just use the quick access there. You can see my toxicity is very high now, so in this case I will go to my inventory, because another potion I can take which can help is white honey will clear all toxicity. I could also use bombs, so we didn't see bombs, so let's just show you a bomb. See whether there's anything interesting. Fire damage, that sounds cool. So I'm going to apply that to the bombs section there. What's that called? I've forgotten now. Dragon's Dream. Okay, so when you've got the bombs active, you highlight over them here and select them, and then you can just quickly throw them by hitting the RB button. And it all... Oh, yes, swine. There we go. So he didn't like that, did he? And then we'll go and attack him. Rah! And then the last thing that we didn't really show you was the... I want to show you one more thing in battle, and that is the crossbow. The crossbow I rarely use, to be fair. It does have a big benefit when you're underwater, in that it's the only thing you can fire to get rid of certain things, like drowners attacking you. But apart from that, I just... Oh, and things flying in the air as well, actually. It's quite good for bringing them down, but I rarely use it in battle because it's not that powerful. But I've got stuff flying in the air. No, dogs again. So if I want to use that, I go here, select it, and you can see it's of no use whatsoever. With, oh god, they're all coming at me now. Right, better take one of them white raffids. I'm going to use Ard. Go away. Okay. But yeah, you really want to get used to dodging. See, I dodge an awful lot. There we go. Dogs. Bye bye. I really wanted to show you another dog. What's with all these dogs? I'm like Dogland. Go away. So you can see there I've used quite a lot of potions. If I now meditate, I'll get those potions back. It says I've used Dwarven Spirit to make some, to replenish my alchemy items, which is cool with me. That's fine. And then I can use my Swallow again just to heal myself before I go into the next battle. And all I wanted to see, I just wanted to show you the crossbow, which I suppose I can just fire without anything here. So crossbow's there, light ranged weapon. And it will slow down time slightly and you can power it up over time, but you just hold R button with it selected and then you can aim it and fire it. Like I said, it's particularly good for stuff in the air, so you can fire stuff like that. If we have a quick look in the inventory, I'll just think about some other stuff to help you with combat. It's always worth keeping an eye on your sword and other new ones that you pick up or that you find, because obviously that's going to increase your attack power. So if you LT on any sword that you highlighted, it'll compare it to your current equipped sword. So you can see my current equipped sword is better than this sword here, so it's not worth really changing. And you can see the glyphs that I've added. There's on the right there, Greater Triglav, Davana and Striborg are adding some extra perks to my sword. I've also added an oil, which has given me an extra attack power versus beasts. I've got 37 to 60 left of that. And I can also see the same with the probably not got a, let's go and have a little look at it. Where is it? There we go. The same with my silver sword, similar sort of stuff there, so that's quite cool. You can add different bolts here for your crossbow, so you can see these standard ones giving 4 to 6 piercing damage. I can add other ones here like these 13 to 15 damage, so I'll apply those. We've talked about potions, we've talked about bombs. The only other thing was armor, so armor, like I say, keep that as good as you can over time. And that's about it really. If you're weak on your potions, like I say, have a look at the alchemy tutorial that I've got, of oils or bombs on how to power those up, because you build them up over time as well. They're standard and you can build them up to superior level and then you get bigger perks over time. The one last thing that I will talk about very quickly just before we finish is the character screen. This is worth spending some time on because you can up the power of your combat options or your signs or your alchemy general. I've got a movie on this, but basically you want to be, as you level up, applying your points in here to increase, whatever things you want. So there's no right or wrong way to use this. You can use it however you wish. Invest more in combat or signs or whatever. You can see I've invested quite heavily in Igni, so my Igni is very powerful just because I like fire. I think it's good fun, a good effect. You can switch between combat and magic, or the signs if you wish, and you'll find certain certain beasties, etc., are more more damaged by certain things. So some will be more damaged by Igni than Yidden or whatever. So Yidden is very useful against Night Race, for example. Igni is good against things that like to be set on fire. That sort of stuff. Hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea with combat. I hope so anyway. And if it was, give us a thumbs up. That's always much appreciated. And have a look at the rest of the channel for more Witcher tutorials. Thanks very much for watching.